Jeff who? But the schoolyard thugs taught him a great lesson, how to stand up for himself. And he's done such a good job of it, Jeff Horn is now the Hornet, the World Boxing Organisation's #2 ranked welterweight fighter. He's an improbable boxer though, brainy instead of brawly, respectful instead of raging. Weapons the Hornet will most certainly need when he meets his next opponent, the 11-time world champion, boxing legend, Manny Pacquiao.
I always wanted to be a sports player from when I was very young.
He's a quietly spoken and conscientious school teacher who loves nothing more than moulding young minds.
And then I decided to go to the boxing gym because I got picked on a little bit at school and got beaten up a couple of times. So I was like, oh, I've got to learn some self-defense.
And today, he's giving this group of young athletes a lesson on bullying.
What should people do if they get picked on at school?
Well, at first I reckon just ignore it. This is it.
Here we go.
This is my office. Jump on in.
Jeff Horn is just about the exact opposite of what you'd expect from the brutal arena of world champion boxing. But this understated boy from Brisbane is on the verge of making Australian sporting history.
Well, yo, right now, kick the bass for them brothers and let them know.
At 29, and with just 17 professional fights under his belt, Jeff has been given a life-changing opportunity. An improbable shot at the World Boxing Organisation's fiercely contested World Welterweight title. It's a battle that will pit this relatively unknown underdog against arguably one of the greatest boxers of all time. Manny Pacquiao. Some people have said, it's too early for you, you'll get smashed.
My whole career they've been saying it's too early for me. I'm tougher than he thinks I am. I'm mentally stronger than he thinks I am.
For Jeff, the road to the brink of glory has been anything but conventional. He only turned to boxing at the belated age of 18, determined to fend off the schoolyard bullies who terrorised him for years. Why were you being bullied?
I don't know. I was probably too soft back those days. I didn't really stick up for myself.
You think the kids saw an easy target?
I think so. I was only a little guy. Back then I still am only a little guy compared to a lot of others. Maybe if I stuck up for myself a little bit more and had a little bit more confidence, which what boxing has given me these days, maybe it would have been different.
Good work, guys. Keep the head moving, Jeff.
Refusing to be bowed, he instead came here, the Stretton Boxing Club, where tough-as-nails trainer Glenn Rushton immediately sensed there was something special about him. Do you remember the first day that Jeff came to your gym?
I do. Yeah, he was a little bit of a geeky, gawky sort of young guy, and when he come in, I can see, he used to say he used to get picked on at school, and and I can see Jeff had that hit me sort of sign written over him where people would have thought that, but I saw a lot more in Jeff.
Under Glenn's guidance, Jeff made the transition from hapless prey to unexpected predator. Now, 10 years on, no one would dare bully Jeff. Where do you put him in the pantheon of Australian sporting stars?
I believe he can become Australia's best boxer. And that's a big mouthful again. We've had Lionel Rose, we've had Jeff Fennick, we've had amazing boxers. But I've always said to Jeff, I'm not here to make you a world champion, I'm here to make you a legend.
But first, Jeff will have to take down a boxing superstar. You're here for the general today. We caught up with his upcoming Filipino opponent, Manny Pacquiao, late last year at a police academy near his home on the island of Mindanao. He was there in his role as a senator, showing his support for President Duterte's controversial war on drugs. His popularity in the Philippines is almost folk hero status, both as a boxer and a politician. Let me give you some other challenge descriptors. Mouse and the Lion, David and Goliath, Rocky and Apollo. How do you describe Jeff and Manny?
Cat and cat. When Manny Pacquiao fought Mayweather, it was a cat and mouse game, you know, and again, you know, we had this mouse running all over the place, so there's no real engagement, but in this we have a cat and cat game, so we have two hunters.
Are you worried about getting up the next day, or even being able to get up the next day?
I don't worry about that type of thing, because if I start worrying about it and I start picturing what the bad things that could happen, it usually will happen, so I try and stay positive as much as I can.
You just want him to be worse than you.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those, you should see the other guy.
I think just to play it safe, Jeff being pretty hard there, mate.
Yeah. Well, there's certainly no question the Brisbane boy can pack a punch. His critics warn that simply won't be enough when he steps into the ring with the most prolific pugilist of the millennium in just 12 weeks' time. But what about all those people who say, look, it's too early?
A lot of people say it's too early. You know, when is the time right? You know, if you had black caviar, would you keep running her in the bush? You know, of course you wouldn't. Yeah, nice work, Jeff. Just watch your exits.
You really think he's going to be the next world champion, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I have no doubt whatsoever about that. I just can't see how many can stop Jeff. Seriously? I've never seen Jeff hurt. In all his amateur and pro careers, no one's ever hurt him. His jaw is so good that he just doesn't even acknowledge being hit. You can hit him and it's just like it didn't happen. And that's really important, because one thing I can tell you, you will get hit. You will get hit. And so if you're going to worry about getting hit, don't box. Play table tennis.
Tell you what, mate, this is good. But even on this small stage, every shot and parry is fiercely contested.
Oh, 1-0.
Yeah.
I'm beating Jeff Hall, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm gone.
It's his passion to overcome any obstacle that first caught the eye of Jeff's high school sweetheart and wife, Jo. So, Jo, what is it about Jeff that attracted you?
I don't know, everything. Like, he's just, his personality, you know, his humour. Like, we have the same humour and everything. Obviously, his looks. I don't know, just, yeah, his personality and just who he is.
Did you think he'd be this successful?
I guess I never thought he'd be fighting Pacquiao, that's for sure. It's scary.
So it's a tough, brutal game.
It is.
What does he say to you to reassure you?
He won't get hit.
When Jeff squares off against Manny Pacquiao in front of a full house at Brisbane Suncorp Stadium on July 2nd, Jo will be right there ringside. Must be difficult. You'd feel every punch.
Yeah, kind of, and I'll be there yelling out, and because I feel
You
like
can hear her yelling out.
Really?
For sure. Yep.
yeah, I feel like if you can hear me, you'll be like, oh, that's right. Yes, I've got to keep my arms up or whatever it is.
You've been in the ring, have you? And you've heard Jo screaming.
Yeah, I've heard her, especially the Brisbane fights that I've had. Heard Jo nice and close.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. You get right into it.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm not someone who can just be like, oh, well done, Jeffrey. I'm sort of, yeah, get into it. I can't just be quiet.
For now, Jeff is focused on fine-tuning his weapons of war. An arsenal of aggression his trainer Glenn believes will stun not just Manny Pacquiao, but anyone who has questioned Jeff's right to step into the ring alongside him. It's one thing being an underdog, but it's another thing to get hit like that out of the ballpark. I mean, you don't want to be embarrassed.
No, that doesn't really concern me at all. You know, he's up against an incredible fighter, but as I say, that's the way it is. So I'm not underestimating the challenge in front of us. Can he get stopped? Anyone can be stopped.
You've almost got me convinced.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's easy, but, you know, one of the things I say to, again, Jeff, is you don't get hit by a right legend or a left legend. you just get hit by 2 gloves.
Is he almost too normal, Joe, to be a world champion?
Some people probably think that, you know.
I never look at him.
Yeah.
No tattoos.
No, I know.
No piercings.
Yeah.
Not that we know
No. But what's normal in boxing these days, though? You have Manny Pacquiao, he's a senator in the Philippines, and I'm a school teacher in Australia. It's a weird contest to be having between 2 boxers.
of. Well, people would pay a lot of money to punch a politician.
Yes, true, and probably a lot of people want to punch a teacher as well.
Unfazed by the enormity of the task ahead of him, Jeff is simply determined to do what he does best. Take life's biggest challenges head on and always refuse to throw in the towel. Are you too nice to win?
I don't think so. I don't think nice comes into it when you're boxing.
Those louts, those bullies, they did you a favour really, didn't they, looking back?
They did. Everything happens for a reason, and a group like that telling me what to do and bullying me like that.
What would you say to them now?
I guess I've got to thank them. I've got to thank them for getting me in a situation like that, which pushed me to the gym in the first place.
Still to come.